Yes, we'll be breaking down what happened last night, talking a little bit about those games in their entirety. A lot of stuff to go over with. This is going to be today's show more so based on the pricing across both sites. Today, we're going to be looking at what we're seeing in terms of the pricing across both sites. That's DraftKings and FanDuel. That's what we're going to be looking at today. So we've got a nice 5 game slate. We do have a really solid feature for players from last night. Bro, it went down last night. Last night was crazy. If you didn't have any boogie, it was so hard for you to get to the money. Luckily, one of the homies in the shop was like, yo, I simulated this game on 2K, and just so happened, Boogie had like 40 points and 20 boards. And that kind of put us on him. Like we were like on Boogie after that. Like so that was funny, man. I did have some exposure. All of my lineups I did well. Actually, those are the ones that had Boogie in them. So I was very happy about that one. We're gonna, if we can take a look at the core 4 plays. Well, not the core 4, but the feature 4 plays. These are the 4 most talked about, tweeted about guys in the DFS sweatshop, in the Facebook VIP, and of course as well as on Twitter. First guy we're going to talk about is the Who Dat scoring all of them points over their player of the night, and this can only go to one person. When we look at what was going on in Chicago, with Chris Dunn being out. No, when we look at that, the first thing that a lot of us thought about was to play somebody other than this kid. But he went out at a very solid price point, 4.9K to be exact, and he just balled out. So that is why today's Who Dat score on points over their play tonight is going out to the homie Jerry and Grant. In 47 minutes, this game did go into overtime. He had 22 points, 5 boards, 13 assists, knocked down 2 3-point shots, had 2 steals and a block. Very solid game for the homie Jerry and Grant. Now let's go ahead and talk about the how did I miss that play tonight. And this is really bad. Whenever me, the number one Kimba supporter, like whenever I miss a game where the homie goes out and he scores 26 points, 6 boards, damn near doubles on him with 9 assists, hit 5 3-point shots, a steal, a couple blocks. Yo, Kimba was a boss last night. Had an awesome game, very solid game there for Kimba. Then the heat check play tonight. Do I have to even talk about this? Like, come on, man. I mean, I had 4 lineups on DK. I was 50% Boogie. The dude went out in 52 minutes, 44, 24 boards, and 10 assists. A triple-double for the homie. Even outshined Blake Griffin, who had the game of his life. Oh, my God. Yo, RotoQL was putting us on both of them. It was putting us on DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis, and a lot of us ignored it. It was telling us to play both of them in the same lineup. It really was. So now we must talk about that one motherfucker, and it's got to be the homie Donovan Mitchell, bro. I think I said it's over for Donovan Mitchell. Like for me, playing 7K, high 7K, low 8K Donovan Mitchell, anytime you can go out in 32 minutes of basketball against one of the worst defensive teams in the league and only put up 18.5 DraftKings points, it's over. Like yo, you are so close. You were just born because you're a rookie and you're almost dead. This is sudden infant death syndrome. This is crib death is what we're seeing from this dude. And I'm not to make light of that, but I mean, you're a baby in the NBA and you're almost dead to me. Like you're dead. I mean, this is crazy. Donovan Mitchell, man, snowflake of the night. Horrible game we saw from him in his 32 minutes. Only 13 points and 6 rebounds. He had 6 turnovers. Horrible. So let's go ahead and jump into today's slate. Of course, we do have 5 games here. It's going to be a really nice one. Take a look. 5 games on today's slate. Should be a really nice one. We've got Sacramento, Orlando, Brooklyn, and Oklahoma City, Cleveland, San Antonio, my New York Knicks, and the Golden State Warriors. And then we have the Boston Celtics going to Los Angeles to take on the Lakers. Now, the two televised games for today will be the Cleveland San Antonio game is going to be televised, and then the Boston and the Laker game is going to be televised. So we might want to look at those really quick and grab a couple of pieces from those just as we continue on, because there's been some news and some talk around the Cleveland Cavaliers camp that they got on Kevin Love. They had to get on Kevin Love. They had to get on Kevin Love. So let's take a look at the first game on the slate. It's going to be the Sacramento Kings going to Orlando to take on the Magic. And the one thing that I want you all to focus on as we talk about these players is their price points. I want you to look at the pricing as opposed from FanDuel to DraftKings. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this. I talk about this every so often, but these two sites tell us what people are worth. And I think that a lot of what we need to make solid determinations in terms of our roster builds comes from us really examining the differences in the pricing from both of them. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. First game we got is going to be the Sacramento Kings and the Orlando Magic. This game is going to be in Orlando. We know what time it is, what they allow versus point guards, and it sucks because not one of the worst, but this is not a spot that I feel like, oh my God, plug and play. Whoever is playing against Elfrid Payton is an automatic plug and play. Because when I think that, but then I look at who's going to be playing him, and I see it's De'Aaron Fox. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to play De'Aaron Fox anyway. But the numbers suggest that he is in a great spot. He's in a great spot against Elfrid Payton, the guy that will turn it over. Then on the other side, this suggests that Elfrid Payton is in a great spot because De'Aaron Fox is a guy who will turn it over and won't score a lot of points. So this game is appealing to me. And the last time we talked about this, I said, yo, let's go out and stack Orlando, and that's what got to the money. And I'm kind of feeling like that today. So let's go ahead and take a look. Aaron Gordon, 8.1. I like that. For me, that's a price that's going to separate the men from the boys. Either you like them at 8.1 or you hate them. So you're not going to see high ownership on him at all today. I don't think you're going to see even on a 5-game slate, I don't think the ownership on him is going to be very high. At 6.9, who is definitely in play for me. Evan Fournier, 6.1. I like him. I'm not a big fan of playing 6.1 for Bismack Biyombo, especially against Willie Cauley-Stein, another active big. They could, cancel each other out. I'm not a big fan of his. Jonathan Simmons at 5.3 does look to be usable. If I do play a big, I might jump on Kim Birch. He is priced at 3.7, very cheap. That should help you pay up for other guys that you might want to get in other spots. On the other side, Cauley-Stein at 6.6. If I would rather play Cauley-Stein than Bismack. Cauley-Stein coming off a bad game. Probably is going to see much lower ownership than Busy on this one. I would look at Cauley-Stein if I'm playing a center from this game altogether. Okay. Bogdan at 5.5. Yes, I can get behind him. The numbers suggest that De'Aaron Fox is in play here at 5.2. Looking at how bad Orlando has been against point guards, and actually how much Elfrid Payton turns the ball over himself. Then we've got Buddy Hield at 4.7, and something that we got to consider is a lot of these cats. Look at Zebo at 4.8 if he gets to start. A lot of these cats were out yesterday. And we're seeing different rotations come from the Sacramento Kings side. So that's something that we've got to stay abreast to. The good thing is this is one of the first game on the slate. So we shouldn't have an issue. We shouldn't have an issue with knowing who's going to be playing for the Sacramento Kings side. Now, taking a look over on FanDuel at this very same game, let's compare the pricing to see, what's the big price difference in both of these rosters. So we've got Cauley-Stein priced up 7.2, Bogdanovich 6.6 high, De'Aaron Fox, he's 500 more, Zach Randolph is 500 more, Scal 5.4, Aaron Gordon is 400 more, Elfrid Payton is 7.1. So that suggests you're getting pretty much value on Elfrid Payton. If he's 7.1 on FanDuel, but he's 6.9 on DraftKings, that's right around in that 200 threshold. Busy is 6.6. That means you're going to get a value for Busy at 6.6, which doesn't matter as much with the centers. Fourier 6.3, Simmons 5.3. That's you're getting a value for Jonathan Simmons. He's the same price on FanDuel as he is on DraftKings. And Kim Birch is 4.6. Now he's 3.7 on DraftKings. He's 900 more on FanDuel. For me, that's telling me that he's 900 more on FanDuel. That means FanDuel really, really likes him. And if FanDuel really, really likes him, that means he's a guy that I must consider. That's exactly what that means. All right, let's go take a look at the next game. I'm at Jiffy Lube, man. I had to get the oil changed in the caddy, so that's why you may hear some residual noises in the background. Then we've got the Brooklyn Nets and Oklahoma City Thunder. One of the biggest questions on this slate is going to be, do I fade Westbrook? And I would say on DraftKings, no. On DraftKings, if you're making multiple lineups, I would say you don't have to fade Westbrook. On FanDuel, where he's priced up a 12K plus, I think he's easily fadeable. I think he's easily fadeable because not only is he priced up, but a couple of other point guards that I like are kind of priced down. So let's take a look at this. We got Rondae Hollis-Jefferson at 6.3. I absolutely love him. He is going to be facing Melo a lot, and Melo is a guy who wants to put the ball on the floor, wants to score the basketball, so he should have it a lot. I think that does ramp up the defensive intensity for Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. He's on the floor a lot, plays 30-plus minutes, and I think he does well. That being said, there's no way I want to play Carmelo Anthony because Hollis-Jefferson is just that good of a defender where I really don't want to touch him. Now, DeMarre Carroll and Paul George is a very interesting matchup. I think that DeMarre Carroll is a really solid defender, does well at keeping the ball in front of him, but if you look at Paul George and Carmelo Anthony being in really tough matchups, well, who does that leave? You have Andre Roberson, who is not an offensive threat at all, and then you have Steven Adams and Russell Westbrook, two guys that correlate together. So if we see Paul George struggling, if we see Carmelo Anthony struggling, what does that tell you on a 5-game slate? It could be a very easy thing to do on DraftKings. Yes, stack Russell Westbrook with Steven Adams. Anywhere I have Westbrook today, I will have some Steven Adams exposure. It's only right. It makes all the sense in the world. On the other side, Spencer Dinwiddie at 5.9. He is just too cheap at this point. A big, rangy guard should be fine. He's going to be getting the start. D'Angelo Russell is 5.4. Okay, this is something we got to talk about. D'Angelo Russell is 5.4 on DraftKings. He's 4.7 on FanDuel. He is much cheaper on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings. That's going to mark him as a value. That is really gonna mark as a value. So Joe Harris at 3.8 could be somebody you can look at as a cheap punt play. Levert at 5K, don't really love that. There's not a lot about the Brooklyn side that I really like. So we got Russell Westbrook, Steven Adams, not a big fan. Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, not a big fan of that. I kind of like this game, but most of the injury news is already out today anyway. So here we go. Then we got the Cleveland Cavaliers going to San Antonio. I'm sorry. Let's go back because we got to do the price comparison. That's what today's show. This show is about that. This show is about the price comparison, looking and seeing what are the differences in terms of pricing and the way that they're pricing the players. I really want y'all to be up on that, especially when baseball starts, bro. That is so serious when baseball starts. So Rondae 6.8 here, very playable. DeMarre Carroll priced up somebody that Spencer Dinwiddie 6.2. That's not bad. Crab 4.6. Look at D'Angelo Russell, is 4.7 on FanDuel, bro. I think he's gonna be popular today on FanDuel. I think he's gonna be popular. D'Angelo Russell should be. Then Russell Westbrook is 12.2. He's 12.2. He's 12.2. Steven Adams 7.5. This is the worst team in the league against centers, bro. This is the worst team in the league against centers. Carmelo Anthony 7.2. Andre Roberson is 4.8. Nice. All right, so let's go on to the next game. It's going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers going to San Antonio to take on the Spurs here. Let's go ahead and chop this one up. Yo, shout out to the homie Samuel like the drum, man. He did a damn thing last night in the group, and it's really becoming a staple. A staple. All right, first we got LeBron James is 10.8. So you telling me you get LeBron James under 11K nationally televised game on DraftKings? How do you not play LeBron James today? Like how do you not play LeBron today under 10K? I mean under 11K in a positive matchup. San Antonio without their best defender in Kawhi Leonard. How do you not play them? Coming off of getting their ass whipped, they're getting their ass smoked, and they had a team meeting the other day, bro. Nah, man. Yeah, LeBron. I'm not saying hit the lock button on him, but I'm saying if you make more than one lineup, bro, do not fade LeBron. If I make two lineups on 50% LeBron, right? Isaiah Thomas at 6K looks to be usable, definitely. Remember, he's a defensive liability, so whoever is starting at point guard on the other side is definitely somebody that you might want to consider. Kevin Love at 7.4. He's going to be usable for me as well as Jeff Green at 4K. We look at LaMarcus Aldridge, 8.7. Very nice price on LMA. That is without Kawhi. That without Gasol. Paul Gasol is going to be out in this one. Yo, this could be nice, bro. This could be a good game. Kyle Anderson at 5.6. And yo, as soon as I got him with Kyle Anderson, I was like, I'm not playing him. I hate him. He goes out and he balls. He goes out and he balls. But DeJounte Murray at 4.6, definitely a guy you want to consider. If you want to get away from the DeJounte Murray chalk that will come to be, Patty Mills off of the bench at 4.2 looks to be usable. And do not forget what happens against shooting guards against Cleveland. Do not forget that. Yo, shout out to the homie Bagley232, Justin Morgan. Shout out to you, big homie Jacob Kennedy. Much love to you, bro. Yo, do not forget what happens with shooting guards against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Danny Green at 4.6 is somebody who I'm going to have a lot of exposure to. I love the fact that, especially on the other side, on FanDuel, where he brings more of a defensive, he brings a huge defensive presence. He brings a lot of defense off of the bench here. So I definitely do, to the game. I definitely do like some Danny Green, especially on FanDuel, man. That's going to be nice. All right, let's go over to the duel and take a look through this game, see what the price points are, and see. Eric says small forwards against the Cavs have been a thing as well. Yo, everybody against the Cavs been a thing. They've been shitty, bro. They've been bad. So LeBron is 11K. He's 200 more on FanDuel, so that means he is definitely playable. Kevin Love, 400 cheaper. That's going to make him playable. You've got Isaiah Thomas at 5. That's not bad. That bad of a price hike. I can get with that. Then we've got Dwayne Wade, 4.2. Jeff Green, 4K. LMA, ooh, yo, this means he's in play on DraftKings for sure. He's 700 more. No, he's 800 more on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings. So FanDuel really likes him. FanDuel really likes him. Kyle Anderson 6.2, priced up some. DeJounte Murray 4.8, where he's 4.6. Look at that. Danny Green is 4.6 on both sides. That means they can't decide. You know what I mean? He's playable. I like Danny Green today. Danny Green is now like one of my favorite players on the slate. And last time he balled. Last time he was one of my favorite plays, he balled. Then we've got my New York Knicks going to Golden State, man. Going to the Oracle. Oh my God. To take on the Golden State Warriors. Yo, Golden State has not been the same squad. Like last year, it didn't matter. Even in a blowout, Golden State was still, from a fantasy standpoint, they were still eating. It didn't even matter because you knew who was going to do the blowing out. And this season, man, the minutes are kind of spread out. Points are kind of spread out. It's a little tough. Guys have got to be injured in order for you to know exactly how it's going to go down. So let's go ahead and jump into it, man. First game. Let's go hit up DraftKings. Okay. That's FanDuel or DK? Because I think he was priced cheaper than that. All right, let's go hit up DK. All right, so we on DraftKings talking about Golden State and the New York Knicks. And right off the bat, something that kind of is funny to me is how priced up you see Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. 6.7. This is a good matchup for shooting guards against the Golden State Warriors. but Tim Hardaway is 6.7, and he is 5.5 on FanDuel. So I may have found my shooting guard 1 and 2 with Tim Hardaway Jr. being that far priced down, and also taking a look at Danny Green from San Antonio. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We got Kristaps Porzingis at 8.5. He's going to be playable for me. I don't have an issue there. Enes Kanter, a guy that if he starts, I don't think he can get run off of the court. I don't think if they go small, they're going to run him off of the court because he was the guy who they would bring in to kind of stabilize the paint whenever he was with the Oklahoma City Thunder and they played the Golden State Warriors. So he can run, and I wouldn't have an issue there. Let's get to him. Courtney Lee at 5.1 does seem kind of interesting to me. I think I can take a look at him. Michael Beasley is 5.5 on DraftKings. We would normally say that's a lot, but I think he could see 20-plus minutes in this matchup, especially if the game kind of gets out of hand. You know what I mean? Kind of if the game gets out of hand. Yeah. On the other side, definitely we can look to Steph Curry at 10.5, Kevin Durant at 10.5 as well. Both of these guys are going to be in play, most certainly. Draymond Green at 8K. If I had to play any one of these guys, it'd be Draymond. I like Draymond the most out of everybody we see here, especially if Andre Iguodala is going to be out, because he's a game time decision now. We know Jordan Bell is going to be out. If I had to pick anybody from this game or from this side, before I play Curry, before I play Durant, I would play Draymond Green on DraftKings. I kind of love Draymond Green today. I'm on him. I'm pretty much on Draymond Green. I like him. He's looking kind of Corey, but we're going to finalize that later on this afternoon. Warriors cash more threes than anyone. Bad matchup. And honestly, the main reason why we're looking at this game is because it's a 5-game slate. Like, I mean, if I had to pick one game that's sure to blow out, it would be this one. But it's hard to predict those, man. So let's look at the pricing comparison. Kristaps is only 8.7. He's 200 more than he is on DraftKings. That's usable. Big difference. We've got a $1,200 price difference for Tim Hardaway Jr. That's going to make him playable. Enes Kanter's a little bit cheaper at 5.8. We've got Courtney Lee 4.9. He is cheaper than he is on FanDuel. Michael Beasley is only 4.8. He's 700 cheaper, and that's a dude. No matter what direction the game goes in, whether it blows out or whether it or whether it stays close, we can see Michael Beasley play 20-plus minutes. So I really think you should take a look at Michael Beasley today as a salary saver to help you pay up for certain guys that you want over on FanDuel. KD 10.5, don't really love that as much. But Steph Curry at 9.6, that's a clear value. He's 900 cheaper than he is on FanDuel. So Steph Curry's a guy that I absolutely love. Draymond at 8.3, he's a pretty solid value. He's 300 more. Clay 200 more. I think if this game somehow stays close and we play catch from this one, that could be killer, bro. That really can be. That can be nice. And let's go ahead and jump into the last game on the slate. It's the Boston Celtics going to the Los Angeles Lakers to Los Angeles take on the Lakers. And I hope you kind of have an idea of the way I'm breaking it down in terms of going across both sites and looking at how they value the players. Al Horford at 7.3. I do like Al Horford against the Lakers. I really wish that the homie would start, that Brook Lopez would start. Because if Brook Lopez started, I would be all over Al Horford. But I think he is playable in this spot, kind of like Jaylen Brown, 6.2. Yeah, he is playable. Tatum at 5.7. He is playable. Kyrie Irving should get the start here at 8.9. I don't have to play. I don't have to play him at 8.9. I don't. I already don't. Brandon Ingram 6.4. He's a game time decision. If he does play, I think he's good to go. Julius Randle at 6.6 can be a solid play. Kyle Kuzma 5.6. Don't love him. Tyler Ennis, Jordan Clarkson is 6.5 on DK. That's priced up. But on FanDuel, I can't play Jordan Clarkson. I really can't. So give me Brown, Tatum, maybe some Al Horford for the Boston side. And on FanDuel, let's take a look at the pricing differences. Let's check out the pricing differences. We're gonna go to All right, Horford is 100 cheaper at 7.1. Tatum and Brown, both of those guys are a little bit cheaper on FanDuel. Terry Rozier 3.8. I kind of Terry Rozier.